Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is your Modern Tech Breakdown. Today I'm looking at a settlement that Anthropic has reached in its widely watched case with the authors of books that it pirated. Let's get into it. All right, so I've covered this story a few times in the past, but Anthropic was sued by a group of authors for pirating their works. And a judge has sided with the authors, stating that yes, indeed, Anthropic had pirated their work. And now the latest news in the case is that Anthropic and those authors have agreed to a $1.5 billion settlement that will come out to about $3,000 per author. This was an out-of-court settlement between the two parties and probably good news for Anthropic to get this behind them. But given this news, I think there are a few things worth mentioning. First, and I've said this before, I do find it ironic that this happened to Anthropic. Of all the AI companies, Anthropic spends the most time talking about AI safety, and they even claim that they are an honest and harmless organization. So I'm not sure how you square being honest with pirating books. I guess Dario Amodei, the CEO, will have to figure out the proper word salad for that. Second, there are impacts for other AI companies from this settlement. This case was settled out of court, so it doesn't create a precedent, but it does seem like we're seeing a pattern in the courts where they are viewing content used for AI training as not an infringement of copyright, provided you have bought the content in question and haven't pirated it the way that Anthropic seemingly has done. So this could raise the cost of an AI startup by requiring these companies to buy copies of books that they want to train on, but it won't be in the billions of dollars, just in the hundreds of millions of dollars, which is crazy to say, but that doesn't seem like all that much money considering how much money these companies are raising. But I think there's still an issue out there for situations where a trained LLM can be coaxed into spitting out training content verbatim in large quantities. I'm not sure how many LLMs will actually do this anymore, but this case hasn't weighed in on the legality of such behavior, but there's other cases working through the courts that will likely figure out this issue. And lastly, I'll wrap up with this. I think down the road, say in the next 5 years or so, we are likely to see some legislation to adjust copyright protections as they relate to AI. I'm not sure which direction it will go, but I think there's going to be more and more authors and content creators that are not too thrilled to see an LLM regurgitate their work. For example, let's say you spent a lot of time working on a book, lots of researching and writing, and let's say your book has 10 main points. Would you, as the author, be all that happy if someone could just ask an LLM for a summary of your book and it spits out the 10 major points that you spent a year or more researching and writing about? That would be quite deflating. You'd miss out on a potential book sale, and your writing gets completely overridden by the LLM as it summarizes your thoughts and perhaps hallucinates things that you didn't even write. So yeah, I think we're just at the beginning of this AI versus copyright battle. And like most situations, I think the winner is going to be the better finance camp that can buy more political influence. And while AI is big right now, the publishing industry itself is quite large and has some deep pockets of their own. So I'm not sure how it's going to work out. But for now, I'll leave this one here. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.